Yes, good afternoon. Welcome back to Football Heritage TV. So, Tottenham Hotspur 3, Crystal Palace 1. Hands up if you got the score correct. Look, again, for 75 minutes, it was a very frustrating Tottenham Hotspur performance, but all that matters is that we did manage to dig out the 3 goals. A really good finish from Sonny in the end. Some good work from Brennan Johnson for the tap-in for Timo Werner, and the header from Christian Romero, saving our blushes after a clumsy foul by Rodrigo Bentancur allowed Eze to score a free kick. Look, I mean, we'll get into it in a minute. We'll have a look at the team news. We'll have a look at the subs that were made and the performances, the first half versus the second half. Lots of Spurs WhatsApp groups I'm on. A lot of people very, very frustrated with just how slow we seem to play and, you know, how kind of disjointed we look up front. But we got the win. And I feel like this is kind of a carbon copy of when I sat here 3 weeks ago when we beat Brighton at home. It was another game where we had a lot of the football. We had chances, but it was just all a little bit lethargic. And then there was this 15-minute spell like we always seem to have where we put them to the sword. Let me know. I'm keen to know, what does everybody else think? Good cameo from Brennan Johnson. He missed the chance that he should have scored, if we're going to be brutally honest. However, did excellent work for the goal. Timo Werner, I thought that was his best game in a Spurs shirt, other than the miss. Other than that, I thought Son was very, very quiet until the second half. Then he had the snapshot, which hit the post, followed up by a lovely, lovely finish when through on goal. And that is where the difference between Werner and Son really did show. Then when you look at how we played defensively, I thought that we did some good things. I thought that we did some sloppy things. I thought that we again, a little bit lackadaisical on the football, coming out the back. A lot of the time I feel like Romero wants a lot of time on the ball, and so does Udogie, and they get caught. Another very good performance from me from Mickey van der Ven. I thought, again, he was excellent at the back. A good solid game from Vicario. The midfield, Bentancur, again, not really seeing him do a lot. It feels like he's massively dropped off. But James Maddison coming back with some lovely spray passes in that second half, a lovely through ball. So lots of positives, lots of negatives. But the biggest positive is that Tottenham Hotspur have won 3-1. And what that does is it keeps us right bang in touch with Aston Villa. So Aston Villa and Tottenham have played the same amount of games at the moment. Bearing in mind, Aston Villa are kicking off in 25 minutes away at Luton. If they win that, they go 5 points clear of us again. So it was very, very important that we got that win in the end. It now puts us 6 points clear of Man United as well. So what we'll do is, before we go to any comments, please, as always, smash that like button as you come in. A good day for Spurs in the end, if we're going to look purely at performance. Here we go. Let's put that in there. Please do smash the subscribe button if you haven't already as well. That would be much appreciated. But we should be on 100 likes. We're only on 47. So smash that like button, people. If anyone does want to super chat, you can absolutely super chat, and it really does support the channel. Let's have a look, shall we, at the league table. Then we'll get to some comments. If we look, here we go. That should be it. So if we look at the league table there, you can see that is up to date. Tottenham have moved within 2 points of Aston Villa. Obviously, Aston Villa, as we said, kicking off very, very shortly. What it does is it takes us 6 points above Man United with the same amount of games played. More importantly, we are now 12 points clear of Europe, if that makes sense. So we are 12 points clear of Newcastle United, who are the team not in Europe at the moment. So that, for me, cements European football, unless there's a complete collapse, which I can't see. I think we're definitely going to be in Europe next year. Now the question is just going to be, which European competition is it? For me, there's too much for West Ham to do to catch us. So I can't see it being Conference League. it looks very much like it's definitely going to be Europa League with an outside chance of Champions League, depending on whether fifth gets you the Champions League or not. Let's go through. Let's have a look. I won't be able to get to every comment. There are a lot of people, but listen, it was a game. Let's see what the comments are saying. Let's see, so that it's not what I think. Let's have a look and see what the Tottenham fans think. Finn Brazil has said Van de Ven, man of the match. Fair play to Werner. Other than the 1-on-1, he had a decent game. I would say that that's correct. He's a frustrating player, but he had a good game today. Big up to Ryan G in the house. Poor result for you boys today, but a good result for Spurs. Said big up. Good result for yous. Bad day for us. Absolutely. And Phil Coys nearly, he said 4-1. It was 3-1 in the end. Very close. Belgrade Wanderer, I said Johnson, man of the match. Let's be fair. I think that's going a bit overboard, but I thought he was better today. Mark Cook said 3-0. Spurs forever. I said big up SAVVA. Wow, for 75 minutes. That was awful. And thanks to Anderson for that mistake. Fair play to Johnson to persist and quality pass to Werner. Said 2-1. I'll take 3-1. And he's gone on to say, great to see a quality Madders assist again. Yeah, I thought Maddison looked a lot sharper today. Lot prodding those through balls into the forwards out wide. I thought he looked a lot sharper, especially in the second half. First half was a bit, from all the team, was a little bit, wasn't it? I think we had like 2 shots in the first half. Quite poor, but second half come out, and that does seem to be the pattern, doesn't it? It does seem to very much be Tottenham Hotspur come alive in the second half of games. So whatever Postecoglou is saying at half time, maybe he needs to say at the beginning of the game. Finn has said Johnson was decent, but it was a sustained performance. It wasn't a sustained performance like Van de Ven. A few flashes, which were greatly needed to get back in the game. Yeah, listen, I think Van de Ven is superb. I think he's a superb player. Really, really good defender. Gets us out of a lot of trouble. Really, really happy with Van de Ven. I think he holds it together back there for us. Gary said 2-1. He's happy to be wrong. It went from boring to high octane, but should have scored earlier and never been down. Absolutely. And listen, I think that probably showed us where we are. I think we're definitely a team that are in year 1 of having a manager. There were some good bits we saw today that you could clearly see had been worked on. Some bad bits that you can clearly see need a lot more work. But listen, we got the win. Phil Coys has said, happy with the 3 points, but fuming with the overall performance. Papers over a lot of the cracks. We are way off it. I worry Villa away next week. Well, we'll get into that a little bit later. Obviously, Aston Villa kicking off in 20 minutes against Luton, and then they've got Tottenham Hotspur next week. So let me know your thoughts. I'll try to get to as many of these as possible. Spurs Forever said VDV was man of the match. Royal solid, have to say. Royal, for me, does some nice things and then some terrible things. Teabag said, we need a new set-piece coach and a much more convincing performance for the next game. We only won because Palace defensively made errors. Do you agree? Let me know. Is that the only reason we won? I thought we turned it on in the last 15 because I was really worried before that. Ian has gone in and said, VDV, man of the match for him. VDV, man of the match. 83 likes. Let's smash that like button, people. And let's smash the subscribe button as well. Show some love and support for the channel. I did say 3-1. Yes, I did. Like 6 cents. Did say 3-1. Richard Hollis has said, we made hard work of it. Hawks Fry 99 said, lovely bit of football. So, yeah, there lots of contrasting comments, but it's good. It's you know, at the end of the day, we've won. That's what matters. Stanikush said, an ugly win, but he'll take that all day. A smash and grab. You know what? I don't mind the smash and grab every now and then. But at some point, Spurs are going to have to go into a game and start like a house on fire, because I'm getting slightly concerned that the first half performances that we're putting into games. Bill, big up, brother, has said, hands up if you can't carry on watching that performance for 75 minutes per game. Fair play, good win. Yeah, I mean, look, it is what it is. We weren't good. It wasn't vintage. It's pretty much how we've been for the last couple of months. but a win was very, very important. As I said before, with Villa about to play, it was a very, very important win. Tony is right. A win is a win. Absolutely. Mark Newer said 2 weeks off and the players looked off the pace. That was the slight concern for me. That was a slight concern, was that we have had 2 weeks off and you're thinking they're going to come out the traps flying. We didn't. Is anyone else worried? I'll ask this question and I'm sure we'll get to these comments in a bit. Anyone else worried about Bentancur? This has been a long time now that he's looked really, really poor. Anyone? Maybe it was just me. Patrick, big up to you, has said Emerson was his man of the match today. Rock solid all game. Amin said no, Dragoshin again. We're not getting to see Dragoshin, are we? Clearly doesn't think he's ready. Ben Salah Youssef has said defence a bit better today. The midfield is average. The offence is poor until Brennan decided to press Anderson. Biggest positive is Top won't be bought after this game. His Timo won't be bought after this game. Do you not think? I've got a feeling they're going to buy him. I wouldn't. I've got a feeling they're going to buy him. Rusterman has said Kulu finished it, in my opinion. Bentancur as well. I think Ange needs engines all over, similar to the Bielsa style at Leeds. It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, Kulu does some lovely things with the football. He does. But I just don't feel like, I don't know, it's like there's some product, but not enough, not enough. But I thought he did some good things with the ball. But Bentancur truly, really, really worrying me now because he looks well off it. He looks way, way off it. Jammy Git has asked, why do we have to go down before we start to play? Too often under Jose and Conte. Well, it's carried on, hasn't it? So look, it is what it is. Look, what we've got to hope is that sort of performance doesn't continue moving into next season. It's all right having a lot of the football, but a lot of it is sideways, backwards, not really doing anything with it. It needs a bit more zip, but you need better players. I think you've got to get better players. By the way, how lucky were Liverpool? 99th minute winner, Liverpool. 99th minute winner. Big up Rob Wilson. Big up to you. Yes, it was a great result in the end. A great result as opposed to a great performance. But listen, in the chase for Champions League football, that is what you ask of your players. They 99th minute. As an Arsenal fan, you must be feeling a little bit frustrated with that. I completely agree with you. I think he was man of the match. I think he's been man of the match in many of our games this year. Paul Pablo has said Bentancur gave the Palace free kick. Silly foul. Yeah, it was. I don't know. He just looks off it. He looks way off it. Listen, one of the things I said before he got his injury was I liked Bentancur as a player, but I did think our fans overrated him. I see far too many games like today which go past him. He just doesn't look like he's involved. Mazza has said the first half shows possession means nothing with 83% and 2 shots. Much better second half, but this shows how much we need an out-and-out striker. Yeah, I definitely think we need an out-and-out striker. I really, really do. By the way, keep smashing that like button, people. There's nearly 500 of you in it. We should have 300 likes, and we've got 114. So smash that. And if anyone would, go down and smash that subscribe button, then please do. Adam Crew thinks that Brennan Johnson for the Ballon d'Or. Yeah. Tony has said better technical players with speed are required against low block teams. Spurs will do better against similar teams like Spurs as it is more of an open game. I completely agree with you. I think the thing for me is when we're struggling from open play, we're struggling in our build-up play to really, really go at teams. But hey, listen, if you're going to score 3, then you have to, then we can't complain. I agree, Paul. This is going to be a huge game next week at Aston Villa. I think you're absolutely spot on to have any chance. I think if Aston Villa beat us in that game, it could just be a bridge too far. Michael Whittaker said we're winning the league, SAVVA. Yes, we are. The title race is back on. Sorry, was it? Werner Johnson, give them a chance. If you listen, games like today, that's their level. That's their level, playing against Crystal Palace. That's fine. I want better. I will never apologise for wanting better. Never, ever, ever will I apologise for that. Big up to everybody in the chat. Come on, there's nearly 500 of you in here. 150 likes. Smash that button. Finn reckons that VDV will be out for a few weeks. Listen, he went down a couple of times, but hopefully he'll be absolutely fine for next week. The unknown guy said, I don't want anybody to say we need a striker. Laugh out loud. This was a low block defence. Face the stat. Sonny scored 10 and assisted 3 in 13 games as a striker. We still need more forwards. We still need more forwards, the known guy. You look at Liverpool. Look at the forward options they've got. Look at City's forward. You've got to have more forward options. So I don't know how anyone thinks we don't need another striker. But hey, that's just me. Where are we? Stephen has said a poor defensive wall for their goal. Yes, Shafay. I'd love Eze in the Spurs. I'd love Eze at Spurs. I really, really would love Eze at Spurs. Top player. Clearly not very fit, but top player. Produces those moments, doesn't he? Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, big up SAVVA. Give Timo his contract. Every time a player scores a tap in, this is what happens, isn't it? But big up to you, my man. So I'm just trying to catch up. Richard has said, Rich Rod, have you spoke your own name wrong? Said it's not over till Big Ange sings. Apparently not. Tom Thacker has come in and said, nowhere near playing good football. We keep giving Ange time and celebrate 3 points. Well, yeah, I mean, Ange isn't going anywhere. I don't think there's any talk of Ange going. I don't know why. And when I see that, I do think it's a little bit silly. Jade has said it always takes us to be a goal down. That's what we've got to stop. We've got to stop needing to either play poorly or go a goal down to start playing football. I agree with you. Yeah, we definitely need a striker. We definitely need more strikers. Get the fraud Arteta at my club. Said, I'm so surprised Dragashin didn't get no playing time. 30 million on the bench. It does feel strange that he's not getting any, doesn't it? It really, really does. Big up Orox Beats, who's been a channel member for 8 months now. Big up to you, brother. I said we are unable to break down low block teams unless we give them possession and counter. We don't need 90% possession all the time. We need balance. Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that at all. I wouldn't disagree with anything you've said there. Philly, big up, bro. Said, typical Spurs making a mountain of a mole's hill from relegation fodder. That was painful to watch. Anderson mistake handed Spurs the win. Oh, Philly, I love you, man. I really, really do. Paul said, let's be honest, we beat a poor Palace team besides ESA free kick. Sorry, I could have just said Eze. But for Eze free kick. Look, yes, but you've got to win the games. For me, I'll never complain that we've beaten poor teams, but I do think we've got to up our performance levels. I really, really do. Daniela, great question. Said, SAVVA, how are the feeling about the Villa game after watching today's game? Yeah, I think the thing for me, Daniela, is if we play how we played today, I think we'll get beaten. We've got the players to go toe-to-toe with Villa, but too many average performances are starting to creep in week after week for me. So we'll see. But look, there's a whole week between now and then. We'll see what happens in a minute with the Aston Villa game. You know, if they go 5 points clear of us tonight and then beat us next week, that 8-point gap is going to be too much. I'm trying to get to as many comments as possible. Jade said, Matters is my concern. I love Bentancur. I mean, I've got to disagree there. I thought Matters was much better today and Bentancur wasn't. Ian said, we're definitely going to buy Werner SAVVA. Yeah, I wouldn't. I do think I do think we will, though. It's just what we do. Nathan, big up to you, my friend. I said Saar over Bentancur. Yeah, next week I get the feeling Bentancur won't play. I mean, his performances have really, really dropped off, haven't they? Daniela saying, let's hope that Villa drop points this evening. Yeah, look, you never know with Luton. They're a good team, but they do seem to just lack getting over that line in those games. I thought they did well against us. They did well against Liverpool. They did well against, not in the FA Cup, but in the league against City and Arsenal, but they just keep getting pipped at the post. Angus has said, we got to beat Sheffield United on Monday. It's a must, and hope and pray United do us a favour. I can't see any way in which Sheffield United beat Arsenal. If we're going to be brutally honest, I can't. But listen, I can pray. I can pray. TVM has said, controlled the first half perfectly. If Werner scores, they open. Just shows you need quality. Look, I mean, to say we controlled it perfectly, I mean, Palace sat in. We knew they were going to. It was just a bit too slow for me in that first half. Great chance for Werner. Really poor finish. But didn't expect anything different. That's what he does. He's not clinical. Do smash the like button. Please, people, do smash the like button. We should be on 300 likes and we're only on 165. And please do subscribe if you haven't already. The link is in the chat and I am pinning it right now. So please do subscribe if you haven't already. So lots of different comments that I'm reading out here today. Please remember, in these shows, I read out people's comments. What's happened is I've read out a few comments in the last few weeks and people have messaged and said, I can't believe you said that. And I'm like, it's somebody's comment. Liston Hines, big up Liston. I hope you're well, my friend. As said, we played well for 20 minutes. We need to improve. Don't put Pape on the bench again. Interesting. Peter Hall has said Bentancur should be dropped. Much more settled in midfield when Saar plays. Let me know in the chat. What do people think? Saar, should he come in? How did Basuma play for you guys today? Let me know. How did Son play? What did you make of Kulu's performance? Royale, Udogie. Again, I thought Udogie makes too many mistakes for me as a fullback. Makes too many mistakes. Connor has just gone, we was awful again. And just a terrible manager. And I'm 100% serious. Oh, Connor, I think that's a little bit over the top, don't you? I mean, we've just won 3-1. We're 2 points off fourth. But hey, CC Drags has said shooting from outside the box is the best option against a team like Palace. Anything can happen when you shoot outside a crowded penalty box. I agree. It's something more teams definitely need to do. I agree with this as well. I do agree with this. I thought Emerson was much better than Udogie today. Udogie, for me, ponderous on the ball. I find that him and Romero at times today, they just want too long on the ball. That's just me, though. Paul has said today we had 9 corners. Are they not working on corners as we did with Conte? Yeah, it didn't quite work for us on the corner front today, but, you know, maybe that's something that they're looking at. I really don't know. Big up to Sean Pierce. If you would like to put in a super chat like Sean, please feel free to do so. It really does help. But the likes are free. This isn't free, so please do smash the likes. Sean, big up to you and thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it. I said, looking forward to watching Romero wallop Matty Cash in row Z next week. Yeah, I mean, I don't like it when Romero does those things because he inevitably gets himself sent off. But I hear what you're saying. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens next week at Villa Park. Villa are good there. It's going to be really, really interesting. Stay Humble said we got away with one today, but thank you so much for this super chat. I really did appreciate it, Sean. He said we got away with one today. Stanley Cush said 7 wins to go, boys. Flight Wayne has said we can do better than Timo and Eze or Neto. Werner can ride the bench, providing options. Yeah, listen, I don't want him to sign. I'd be very happy with Neto and Eze and those types of players. Seals Diamond, big up to you, my friend. I said, watched in Scotland with the worst internet in the world. Didn't even realise Bentancur was on the pitch. Yeah, I feel like the games are passing him by massively at the moment. I really, really do. Mr. G has said we need better than Timo. Was not confident when he went through one-on-one. I think you get what you get. That sounds silly, but you know what I mean. I think we kind of knew what Timo Werner was before we bought him. He's somebody that's got tremendous pace, likes being offside, and isn't great through on goal. Fair play to him. He got his goal today. But, you know, those one-on-ones in big games, you don't get many of them. So, hey, we'll see. Tony has said it was a hard listen again. Big up to Tony, going old school, listening in. Paul has said our pace of play is no way near what it was in the first 10 games. Yeah, it's definitely not. I do think that, Paul, I think there's a lot to this is as well. I think teams have worked out how we play. And teams are now, you've got to remember how we played last year. Teams didn't need to sit back against us. I think they worked out very early in this season that you've got to sit back and try and let Spurs play through you. Daniela said, SAVVA, after Werner's goal today, would you keep him in the front three versus Villa next week? For me, I would keep him in there and hope that he builds on it. He's definitely, that's what you've got to hope, right? That when a player does that, that they then build on that for the week after. Spurs forever said, who else nearly broke their TV when Werner missed that chance? I'll spin this. Who actually thought he was going to score when he went through one-on-one? I didn't. So I'm sure many didn't. Mr. G said, Liverpool beat a poor team in the 99th minute. No such thing as an easy game. Miranjit has said, we need quality wingers. Timo and Johnson, both championship level. Interesting. Biggie Biggs has said, sometimes having too much time off ruins the rhythm. Yeah, but I didn't think we were any rhythm to ruin, if we're completely honest. SAVVA, 3 number 9s you think we can realistically sign? For me, definitely Santiago Jimenez. After that, I don't really know. I'm none the wiser this year from watching Spurs to knowing what Postecoglou wants in a centre forward, if I'm brutally honest. I'm really not sure. Video complete Sofian is 100% confident. So you are not giving Man City a 1% chance to win the league title. Not even a 1% chance. Interesting. Dennis has said he loves Van der Ven. He is amazing. Yeah, he's a top player, the best defender at the football club by a mile. I think he's a really good player. Angus has said, I didn't think VDV was that good, but watching him today changed my mind. He's your best defender, miles better than Romero. I agree with you. I agree with you that he's miles better than Romero. I think he's so much calmer. He doesn't get caught in possession like Romero does. Get the fraud Arteta at my club. I said, why are Tottenham fans upset? So basically, one of Bentancur's first games back from being out injured for nearly a year, and Matty Cash went through on him with a disgusting tackle and injured him again. So people aren't happy with Matty Cash, but you know, it is what it is. Martin Cook said, Villa have Ajax away on Wednesday before they play us on the Sunday. That might work in our favour. Yeah, I mean, I've heard that all season that, you know, because we've not got games in midweek, we're going to be fresher and better, but the performances haven't suggested that. But listen, I would hope so. Big up to the Big D who has said, thank for that. Big up, SAVVA. Happy Saturday. Big up to you. Thank you for the very generous super chat. Really do appreciate you, my friend. Yes, it was one where after 75 minutes, you are thinking to yourself, aren't you? God, are we going to lose back-to-back home games? And then I thought once we got the first, I just thought that it knocked all the wind out of their sails. So big up to you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really, really do appreciate that. Big up to my brother, Hass. So big up, SAVVA. Only caught the end of the game today. Happy with the points, but sounds like another below-average performance. Look, we had a lot of the ball, Hass. We had a lot of the ball without really doing a lot with it. Second half, we upped the tempo. Definitely the last 15 minutes, we put them to the sword. But, yeah, tough first half. Rakesh has said, Son should have scored a hat-trick plus 2 assists. Yeah, I'm not going to read out the next bit, but okay. Biggie Biggs said we do need another striker. Sonny will want that too. Yeah, listen, I think that our fans talk too much as though football's a game of 11, Biggie Biggs. I think too many people you don't need striker, you've got Son. Liverpool have got about 5 of them. Like you've got to have forwards, you've got to have options. I wouldn't want Solanke in any way, shape, or form. Vlahovic, I think, will have bigger fish to fry than us. I don't think you're going to win the league. No, I think it's between City and Liverpool. I've said that all season. Alpha has said, Sam, have you stopped doing stream with other lads? I've just taken a step back. I feel like it gets too much. I feel like there's too many YouTube shows. There's too much content and people get bored. So I'd rather just do quick, snappy 30, 45 minute, maybe 1 hour shows just to, so there's something to talk about, something fresh. But, that's just me. That's just how I want to go about it now. And, I won't go for too long today. Just a quick snap reaction after the game. But listen, there's plenty of other really good people to watch. Aston Villa already on the attack here and nearly went, nearly. Video complete Sofiana said, Man City would have to win at Anfield to win the league. Well, that's not strictly true. That's only if Liverpool win every other game this season. So it's not just down to one game. So it is what it is. Yeah, absolutely. I do. I focus on myself, mate. I do. I focus on myself now. Alpha, listen, dude, I'll do what I want to do at the end of the day, my friend. I'll do what I want to do. Guys, girls, just a quick snapshot there, half an hour. Listen, brilliant times. We've won 3-1. Back to winning after losing to Wolves. Look, it is what it is. I'm going to be doing a proper show for an hour, hour and a half tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. So join me at 11 a.m. where we can dissect, we can watch the game back, have a bit more of an in-depth chat. But it is what it is. Spurs have won 3-1 after being 1-0 down. Wasn't great to watch, but we got the win in the end, and that's all that matters. Take care. See you tomorrow. And as always, come on, you Spurs.